I'll start, Rick. Bryce Young, I think we both agree, is our QB1 as we sit here.
Yep.
Great football player. The size, the weight's going to be an issue. And it's hard to find a comp for someone that size and that weight because those players don't exist. I talked to a GM back in the fall, and they said, how many quarterbacks in the NFL look like Bryce Young? And the answer is, well, none of them. And that's the concern. When your job is on the line, clearly you want to hit a home run with the most important position. My comp is Drew Brees. Now, Drew Brees was a second-round pick in part because of the size. He was bigger and probably not as athletic now in the latter part of his career, but certainly he was athletic coming out of Purdue. You, if I know you, probably hate the comp. So what do you think, Bryce Young, Drew Brees, and then give me your rebuttal, your better comp as the guy here on the set with so much more experience.
I'm trying to comprehend the Drew Brees and Bryce Young comparison. They're two different people, two different styles of quarterback. So, but that's fine. If you can sleep at night and are happy with your
I did not sleep well last night.
No, apparently because you just threw that together because you had to go on a show here 5 minutes before the show.
All right, okay, well, let me just preface. I can't wait to hear yours. Is it a football player by any chance? What do you got, Rick? Bring it.
All right. I've always, and I've said this on numerous shows, he's going to be the Steph Curry.
What does Steph Curry play?
He plays basketball, and he's a point guard that's one of the most dominant point guards in the league.
I actually like it. Go ahead.
Because of his vision, his natural instincts, everything that everybody said he can't do, because he has all this God-given gifts that he does it. And then my other comparison, if I have to pick a football guy, and Pete Prisco and everybody just laughs at me, I think he has a lot of Patrick Mahomes style to him. And by that I mean he is one of the best off-schedule throwers that I've seen coming out of the collegiate game. He does a great job for a small quarterback with his vision down the field, his anticipation and the way he throws the ball and he throws receivers open. All the things. Now, if this guy was 6'1", 210 pounds.
There are no conversations about
it. No, he's a generational type quarterback, in my opinion. But since he's so small, everybody's going to be nervous as heck to take him because, one, is he going to be durable enough to go through a preseason, go through 17 games, go through, if they get all the way to the Super Bowl, that many games and stay healthy? So that's a big concern, I think, with a lot of teams. But from a comparison, I saw one game, it was in Tennessee. He threw a touchdown pass to Latou in the end zone. And as he stepped up in the pocket, he kind of did a sidearm fling and then walked away like a walk-off home run. It was the same type of movement that you see when Patrick Mahomes does some things, or when Steph Curry throws up a three-point and starts walking down the court before it even goes in the net.
You are old school, and you like your quarterbacks to be a certain size, so the fact that you're willing to concede that Bryce Young is special is noteworthy. So let's go to CJ Stroud, the quarterback out of Ohio State, had a great season. We found out in his final game in college that he could actually run. Who is your comp for CJ Stroud?
It was amazing he found legs. So I wish he would have found them through the whole time. I compared him to Jeff Goff. That would be mine.
Jared Goff,
Or Jared Goff, I'm sorry. And the reason why I say that is because Jared was a very accurate passer. He did not make a lot of plays with his legs, but he had enough arm talent to make all the throws. He can get out on the move. He wasn't going to be a threat with his legs, but he was an accurate thrower on the move or when he had to do. And you're seeing some of that with Jared Goff now, especially in Detroit with the offense they're running. So CJ reminded me a lot of Jared Goff when he came out, except when I saw CJ running around on a pretty good defense with Georgia, that kind of started to change my opinion a little bit when maybe this guy is even better than the Jared Goff because all of a sudden he's found that hidden athletic talent that we were all waiting to see all year.
And I think that's an important point that you make because even if you, who obviously in the league for decades, you learned something about CJ Stroud in that last game. Typically, the hay is in the barn, as they say, on the players unless something extraordinary happens in a bowl game, and that was certainly the case with CJ.
Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my argument about these opt-outs.
Okay, here we go. All right, go ahead.
Bowl games.
You got 15 seconds.
Okay. And I understand there was a lot on the line in C.J. Stroud, and it would have been interesting to see if Ohio State wasn't in the Final Four, if he would have played. But he played. I give him credit. He didn't opt out. And he showed something in that game that he hadn't shown all year. And all of a sudden, that made people start going back to the tape.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, now it's like, did we misevaluate this player on his athletic skill set, all because he ended up playing in that bowl game. Okay, Bryce Young had one of his best games of the year because he played in that Sugar Bowl against TCU.
Changed a lot of people's opinions.
Will Anderson, all those guys played, and they really helped themselves when they played in that bowl game. So I'm always going to be, I understand the opt-out and getting ready for the draft, and I want to stay healthy and all that stuff. Roll the ball out on the court, and let's see who wants to go out and play.
So, quickly, my comp for CJ Stroud was Geno Smith 2022, which is a lot like what
Did you watch him coming out of West Virginia?
I said 2022 because he was a different player then.
Okay.
CJ was a hard comp. I think even maybe you'll agree with that. Probably not. Let's go to Anthony Richardson, who there's so much to love and so much to be afraid of with Anthony Richardson in terms of what he could potentially be, good or bad. And I'll just say my comp, and then you can take the next 35 to 60 seconds or years to rebut it and then give me your guy. I thought I saw glimpses of Dante Culpepper. Now, Dante put up more yards and with his arm, obviously, because Anthony is not doesn't have the experience yet. But I think in terms of his mobility, his size, his arm strength, I saw some similarities there. So have your piece and then tell me who you got.
Okay. The reason I'm going to so strongly disagree with you is because Dante Culpepper was a very accurate thrower. And even coming out of Central Florida, when you see him, there was no question about the arm strength, no question about the size, not near the athlete that Richardson is, and a much more accurate thrower than Richardson is.
No, that's right.
So,
this is best case scenario.
Yeah, my comp was Cam Newton, but just because of the size, the athleticism, a lot of things when you break him down on tape this year and some of the unique athletic things that he does with his legs, break tackles or spin out of this or do this or that, you've seen a lot of that with Cam Newton when he was at Auburn. The difference is Cam Newton had a lot of success with wins.
Right.
Down in Florida, Richardson didn't.
No.
And the reason was because he still has to take care of the ball. There's no question about the physical. He's probably the most physically gifted quarterback in this class, the most physically gifted arm in this class. But the inconsistencies are just going to drive people crazy as they go back and forth in these draft meetings.
All right, one-word answer. Is Anthony Richardson going to the top 20?
Yes.
So they'll get over those concerns right quick, as they say. So tell me about Will Levis.
Everybody hates everybody until the day of the draft, and then all of a sudden everybody, oh, God, we love this
until
guy.
the bill is due. So another controversial quarterback for different reasons is Will Levis. So tell me what your comments for Will Levis and what you like about him.
Yeah, I compared him to Josh Allen. Okay.
Now, that's the face you should be making for the Dante Culpepper face. That's the face I should be making for the Judge.
Okay, well, I want to hear your rebuttal because
okay, let's go.
He's a big, strong-arm kid that has athletic ability. Question his touch and accuracy, which happens to Josh Allen. I'm saying it was Josh Allen coming out, not the Josh Allen that we see now.
Fair enough.
So, and Brian Daboll and those guys did a phenomenal job developing him, but that took almost 3 years before you seen the Josh Allen we see today. Will Levis has all the physical traits you want in a quarterback and tough. I mean, I've seen games where I can't remember the game. His finger was pointing out to the side, and they reset it, and he continued to play. Yeah. So for whatever reason, okay, he opted out of the bowl game. He opted out of the Senior Bowl, and whether it was injury or not, I don't know. So I'll be careful of my criticism. But if I was a general manager and I got in front of this kid, I'd want to know the reasons why.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Was Hendon Hooker at the Senior Bowl?
Yes.
Was he injured?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so you agree with me finally. You finally. There were, and who else did we see there that was injured that was down at the Senior Bowl?
We saw our favorite guy, Tyree Wilson.
My favorite guy that you eventually turned to like.
Edge rusher, Texas Tech. He's going to be a top 10 pick, no doubt about it. So quickly, my Will Levis evaluation. I get the Josh Allen comparison. Will Levis has actually compared himself how he wants his game to be. Josh Allen. I understand that from the physical standpoint that you pointed out. I went with Matthew Stafford and. Again, this is a hard comp because he is not Josh Allen, and he's not even Matthew Stafford coming out. There's some
Matthew Stafford was a pretty good quarterback coming out of Georgia. A lot more accurate, a lot less turnovers.
Yes.
I mean, I went to Matthew Stafford's workout, and that was the
ball was moving, right?
Strongest arm I've ever seen live, besides Jamarcus Russell when I went to his workout.
Maybe that's not the Will Levis comp. I don't want to put that on him. But, I mean,
you got to come up. Like, you'll go back, right? And so when we do these other podcasts, you'll come up with better comps than what you were able to so far without using mine?
Yes, we'll see. All right, added